can we just address that Nell is definitely gay, right?
Yeah, what's going on with that?
Come on! Guys!
Why do you think Nell's gay?
Okay, first of all, she masturbated to lesbian porn.
Everyone
even
masturbates to lesbian
conduct
porn.
that, you know? I didn't even think about
As
that.
well with the porn, like they tried so hard to get, like they couldn't get the rights of any porn. It's like just like the Wild West out there. You can't get rights.
Right,
of porn.
right, right.
Yeah.
So they had to, our producer Simon had to go and shoot it himself.
No!
Oh my God. Simon, okay, firstly, Simon did not have to do that. It's actually very easy to get the rights to porn, and I'm sorry we're involved with that.
Oh no, I guess I'll have to make two girls have sex now.
Give that boy a BAFTA.
Hate my job. Working overtime.
He really went above and beyond by separately shooting independent porn film.
But like
Wow.
also, I didn't know what it was that Nell would be watching because no one like.
Yeah.
I think
Just
Dolly
looking at a
had
blank
written-
screen.
Dolly had written something originally that wasn't lesbian porn.
It was like
Good stuff.
threesome. Do you feel that Nell was queer coded in some way?
So I had no idea until
Okay.
I listened to your podcast.
Oh,
I was like,
Oh, wow.
I honestly didn't. I did wonder because you know they always say that like girls that wear those like the Fred Perry button up, like they're like that's like code for being a lesbian. But I was like, shouldn't also like that code be broken and not like stereotype that as like what lesbians wear?
Usually, women having sex with women is a code for lesbian.
I think I think this is interesting about being in a show that is so like of its time and of its generation and like saying things about young women is that I think that there is a tendency, especially with like queer women or people who are in the queer community, to like sort of project narratives because these narratives are universal.
Yeah,
So
this
whether
is
you're,
us
like-
saying we are both bi and we're
just like, what?
imprinting on someone.
So I think that whether you're like a young trans girl or you're a young black girl or you're neurodiverse, whether or not your narrative is explicitly being told, if it's a human narrative, then you're going to see some of yourself in that character. And I think the journey that Nell goes on of being sort of comfortable with Neil and sort of like not really questioning, but not happy, not explicitly happy, having this like best friend that she loves but is not in love with anymore, is sort of a similar journey that maybe some closeted people have experienced. And I think that it's hard if you are like projecting, so like as being like the two women of color in the show or the two apparent women of color in the show, there will be narratives that other people project onto you that are not necessarily the journey that your character is going on or even that you've experienced, but that they see as something emblematic of that time. And I don't know if it's been too early yet for you to have like other young women speaking to you about what you go through in the show or talking to you about it and whether that compares with your experience.
I haven't yet.
That's so interesting though about how if there's someone if you see so much media where like the majority is white and straight, if there's anyone who isn't that you're gonna identify whatever it is that you have, you'll find something in common with that character. That's like so cool. I hadn't really ever thought about that.
But I think it's like when we just watched like media that had just like boys in it, that was just like, this is about a young boy becoming a man. Like you have like favorite comedians or actors and heroes and templates that don't officially look or sound anything like you, but you find the thing that's human in them and you sort of apply your story and your goals and your ambition onto those characters.
Yeah.
And I think because your four characters are so engaging and vividly drawn, anyone who watches it, even if it is just, you know, like a young gay boy from like Doncaster, he's going to be like, I'm sort of an Amara because I want to dance, or like, I didn't feel like I could be this way when I was in public. So I think it's like your characters have the potential to mean so much more than they do even to you or Dolly.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah,
to think.
but it does mean that people might think you're gay.
I love to hear that. Obviously, when it was sent to me, there was no. Dolly hadn't made it clear. I don't think she wrote anyone's sexuality, to be honest, in like a description. Like I didn't. That wasn't ever set out. But like Nell's story in series 1 anyway, it didn't go along. Didn't like question her sexuality. So I just didn't question it. But it's been really interesting to see other people question it.
How does it feel to be acting within like a recent past period, like a past that you may or may not remember, but like what felt different and what felt?
It was weird that it was like called the past because 2012 like doesn't feel that long ago.
Right.
I mean it is. It's 10 years, isn't it? But like a lot of that, the references were like familiar in comparison to like if you do a film in the 60s or something, you're like, oh, this is made up world. Whereas this, it was like, oh, I had that belt. like, oh, I had a side fringe. Like all those kind of things were very like familiar. So I kept forgetting that it was like a period piece in a. Oh my God, is that a period piece?
Yeah, Matthew kept saying that, which is our costume designer, like, and this period piece and this costume from this period, and it would be like, whoa, it's only 12. My thing was the music, because like all of that was still very much like I was in a conscious state to know all of the tunes and stuff like that. So that was cool. It was like Dominoes was actually my tune. So doing our little thing to Dominoes was so much fun.
It was hard because we had to do it at double speed.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because that's how they make it look slow-mo. So I
Oh
didn't
no.
yeah, we obviously knew we were doing it the next day, but it was on the day they were like, okay, well, this is how we're doing it. And I was just like having a meltdown.
Yeah, I'd be like, I can't even say it. Like, you're good. It was
really
so
hard.
fast.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it make sense in my head.
Because I feel like that would just look so dreamy and like.
That's the thing with all this stuff. It looks so much fun. You're like,
Yeah.
that was really hard. It looks so easy and fun.
I
but,
wish
like,
there was a little recording of what we look like, because I remember we had these like rehearsals where all the crew just watches before we get started, and we just had to be there like and do all these things that they were like, just be conscious of like what this may look like slowed down, if it may be cool. So like I'm doing things really fast, but like I'm like, hopefully this looks okay.